What's up, guys? I'm excited to be back with another video, and today I'm going to show you how I built this website in React. I called it like Execute Financial. Basically, it's like a mock-up financial advising website. I designed it over the last couple days and threw it together. It is in React. So what we have here, we have just several components. We have a Navbar component, and then a hero component right here. As we scroll down, we have the About section, just an About component. And then down here, we have a testimonial section and with some custom cards that I designed here. And this is just one component, you guys. I just grouped it all together. Here we have a demo section with an embedded YouTube video and then just a basic footer at the bottom. So notice we have some hover effect here as well as the buttons. And of course, if you click on the About section, the testimonials, they all go to the respective section here. Same with the demo and of course in the footer as well. And of course, I made this 100% responsive. It looks great on tablet or mobile devices. As you can see here, it displays perfectly. As we scroll up to the top here, notice the nav bar here. There's a little bit of an overlay, so you can kind of see through our nav background here. And also, I'll show you as you click on a link in the nav bar. Notice the menu closes, so that's something we have to code here as well, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So if you're ready to get started, I'm going to show you how to code this exactly from the beginning. To get started, we're going to press the Control backtick button. It's going to open up the terminal here in VS Code, and we're going to create our React app folder here. So I'm going to change the directory to the desktop. That's where I want my folder to be. I'm going to type npx create-react-app. Then you can name it whatever you like. I'm going to name this one Execute Financial. Press enter. And this will only take a moment to install your React application. All right, our React application has finished installing. And here we are inside the directory that we just created. So let's go ahead and clean things up a bit. I'm going to delete some files that we're not going to be using today. So we're not going to be using these three, the app.test or the app.css. So we can go ahead and delete those. And let's press the Control backtick button. And I'm going to type npm start. That's going to start our development server here. I'm going to close this just a little bit. And it's going to give us some errors, because we deleted everything. We need to make some changes. Let's go into app.cs and import React from React. We can delete all this as well as this. And inside the index.js, we need to delete this and also the report web vitals. That should be good. Sometimes it gives this error and you just need to refresh. There we go. So let's go ahead and type something in here to make sure it is working correctly. The typical hello world. And there we go. Everything is working properly. We can delete this. So let's go ahead and create our file structure here. So we're going to have a components folder inside our source folder. And this is where all our components are going to live. Within the components folder, I'm also going to create an images folder. And inside, well, let's go ahead and create some components here. So I'm going to create, let's do our navbar.js first, as well as, there we go. Okay, making sure that's not inside our images folder, as well as our navbar.css. And for our images, you guys, I'm just going to pull them over, but you guys can go ahead and download the ones from my GitHub if you want to use the exact same ones. I'm going to put the link to this repository down in the description below. So basically, just click on source, and this asset images right here, and these are the 5 we're going to use. For example, here's our hero, and you can just click download and pull it in there yourselves. But I already have them here on my desktop here in my Finder. So I'm just gonna pull those over right here like so. And here we go. These are what we're going to be using for today's project. So we can get out of that. Let's go back to our nav bar here, and I'm going to go ahead and make this full screen so it's easier to see. So we're going to use a functional component. I'm just going to type RAFCE, and that's going to create our functional component and export at the bottom. The way you can do that is downloading this ES7 snippet right here for React Redux, and that's going to let you type in these shortcuts here. So you can just type it out if you'd like. I'm just going to use that to save some time. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and type some JSX for our Navbar component. So we're going to give this a class name of header. And here we're going to have a nav, the class name of, let's see, Navbar. And we're just going to have a tag in here. And we'll just lead it to the home page with a class name logo. And let's do this. Let's go ahead and import our file here that we're going to be using. This is just our logo file. So import, I'm just going to say logo, images, logo, and I believe it's just, where's my logo? Yeah, .png here. So image tag with our source, and then curly brackets logo, because that's what we called it up here. And let's give it an alt tag, otherwise React likes to throw some complaints your way. There we go. Outside of here, we'll add our hamburger here. Hamburger. And we're going to use React icons, which let's go ahead and install that right now. So go ahead and press the Control-C to, I'm going to close this as well, to close your development server. And I'm just going to do this so we can see. And we're going to use React icons. So for that, we're going to type npm react-icons, then --save. Okay. And as you can see down here, that's real quick, just installed our package right there. So we need to import this. So we're going to type import, and these are the two icons we're going to use, FA bars and also FA times from React icons. Let me put this in parentheses here. From React icons, and make sure you do /FA, because that is what we're using here. And then we can just say FA bars. And we'll start our development server back up so we can see it over here off to the right. Where is it at? Oh, of course. And first we need to also import this into our app.js. Components, Navbar. All right, so there's our logo. It's on a white background, so it looks pretty bad right now, but we'll style that here in a moment. So FA bars here. Let's go on and create our menu just under the hamburger, but inside the nav bar, nav right here. And we're going to use an unordered list for this with the class name of nav menu. And we'll use an li with a class name nav item. And in there, we're just going to use an a tag. It's going to be to the home. And we'll just say we'll just say it goes to the home. Let's copy these down. Can't remember what I use. I think let's just do about testimonials, and we'll have I think we did demo. All right, that's looking good there. Okay, and then after that, I believe that's it for our navbar. Let's go ahead and do some styling for our navbar component. So we already have our navbar.css created. We're going here. We're going to import that file. Not dot slash. There we go. So get started with our styling. And guys, I like to kind of write out one component and then style it and just do one at a time. Some people like to create all their components and then style them all at once. This is just how I do things. You can do it however you'd like. It doesn't really make a difference. I just like to see things one at a time. I'm a real visual person. 90 pixels, and we'll do width of 100%. Top 0, left 0. And we're going to get a Z index because we're going to be using an overlay. We'll do in and okay. So, and I'm going to give, well, I'll wait on the active class. So header. We're going to display it as flex. And also we're going to justify the content space between. We're going to align all our items to the center with a max width of 1240 pixels, margin auto, so it's right there in the middle of the page. We have to give it a height, otherwise it won't display the flex properly. Yeah, okay. Just refresh that. There we go. It's laying down as we want it there. So let's make this image a little bit smaller. That's quite annoying. Let's give it a width of, try 250 pixels. Height, we'll just leave it auto. Okay, that's looking a little bit better. We're going to give it some media queries as well, guys, so it displays a little bit better. Let's do, you know what? Let's go into our index.css file, and we're going to kind of give it just some global styles. We'll use some colors that that I want to use throughout here. I have some predetermined colors, and let's start above here. I'm going to use CSS variables. So to do that, just type :root, and then these are the colors I'm going to use. Feel free to copy these down. And we're going to do a few more in here. We'll just do on our list with a list style type none. A with a text decoration none. And we're going to go ahead and do our button in here because we're going to use those kind of throughout our application. So 17 pixels, 28 pixels is going to be the padding. Font size, let's do 1.2 rem. think I defined that up top. Font weight 100. Text transform. We're going to make these all uppercase. So for our background color, for the regular button, here's what we're going to do. We're going to use variable, open parentheses, dash, dash, then whatever we named it, the color we want to use. So primary color is what I want to use here, as well as the border, which we're going to set at 1 pixel solid. And again, variable parentheses, dash, dash, bar, dash, dash, primary color. And we're going to give it a border radius of 4 pixels, kind of give it a nice little curved border there. And let's do our hover class. We'll do a background, not background color, but background of bar and primary dark. And I'm going to copy that down so we can just change this to border 1 pixel solid and the primary dark. Also, I'm going to add one more thing here that we haven't typed out yet. It's going to be a line. It's a little spacer that we're going to use throughout the app. Display block with a width of 40 pixels, height of 3 pixels, margin 5 pixels, auto left and right. Let's do a background color bar dash dash. Okay. I think that's going to be it for our global styling for now, at least. We can close that. We don't need that either. So back here, let's refresh this and let's continue working on our navbar. So we left off at the image. Let's style our nav menu. So our links right here. We want those to display as flex, so they're horizontal. There we go. It's just not loading, but it should work there. And we want the nav item with padding of 1 rem. We're going to change the font weight to 500. And we're also going to do header UL. We can just say item. The A tag, let's give it a hover effect. And we'll give padding bottom of 12 pixels and border bottom. So this is going to give that little line underneath there whenever we are hovering. And let's do the variable. We're going to use our secondary. Like so. All right. And let's go ahead and what color are we going to want these here? We'll leave that as it is for now. We don't need to, or I guess we can do some media queries. So let's go ahead and hide the hamburger, because as we're at full screen here, obviously we don't want our hamburger to be displayed. So we're going to hide that and we'll add some media queries. Display none. And for our media queries here, I'm going to add some space. So you can see a little better. Media screen, and let's do a max width of, we'll say 940 pixels. And for there, we want our header with a max width of 100%. We're going to give it a background color of RGBA. We're going to give it a little bit of a transparency 0, 0, 0, which is going to be black, and 0.9. Okay. And we have our header navbar. We still want at 100%. We do want to display our hamburger menu here. Okay. So for our nav menu, and we can go ahead and style it for our mobile devices here. So let's give it a position of fixed, and this is going to be our drop down that we're styling right now. We're going to give it for now just a left at 0, top at 5 rem, flex direction column, so it displays vertically, and give it a background color of, we're going to do the RGBA. Okay. Refresh that so we can kind of see it, what we're doing. There we go. We do need to give this a Z index, guys, and it's due to our overlay, which we'll be doing after the component after this one. Nice transition. Give it a box. Shadow. Well, we don't need this. Okay, let's add in our index.css box sizing. We'll just do this. We'll do this globally. Box sizing, border box, margin 0. Okay, there we go. It's a little bit better. And don't worry about this this little black line up there and the white line down there. We're going to change all that here here shortly. So close this, and after we styled our nav menu, we're going to go ahead and give it an active class. And this is how we're going to get the menu to toggle. And the left is going to be 0. And we'll do our nav item. Just give it a little styling here. Margin 1.5 rem on the top and bottom. And let's change our image there. Bring it down by 100 pixels. Oh, let's see. If that works there. There we go. Okay. So this actually we want to set at -100. I was just setting it at 0 so we could see while we're styling it. Then when we toggle it, it should come on the screen. Let's go ahead and give our hamburger some coloring, because it's kind of annoying that we can hardly see it. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but we'll give this, we're going to make it a little bit bigger, the size, let's say 30, and we'll do some style. We're going to say color, and then parentheses, we'll say, we'll just do white. There we go. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and add in some state here so we can toggle our navbar. So to do that in React, we're going to go up here, and where we import React, we're going to put a comma, then use the useState hook. And it's going to be real easy. We're just going to type it in under here, so it's nice and organized. We're going to say const, then some brackets, and you can call this whatever you like. It takes 2 values, click and set click is what I'm going to call it. And that's going to be equal to useState, and that takes a Boolean value, which we want to set as false for the default value here, because we do not want it to be in the clicked state. And we want to also add a handle click function here. So const handle click, and this is basically kind of like an event lister is what we're going to kind of be using it for. And it's just going to be an arrow function. And we're going to say set click to not click. So let's go down in here and we'll go ahead and change our hamburger so this displays as the X, kind of toggles back and forth between the two. And in there, what we're going to say is we'll start off on a new line here. So what we want to say, if clicked, show, this is going to be the FA times, else, and that we can put some parentheses around this, and we'll cut that out. So it'll be else, show the bars. And let's give this some style, make it a little bit bigger like we did the bars, 30, and we did style, color, we did white, I believe. Okay, copy that down, and we need to put an on click. We're going to run the handle click function. You can see this function right here, and it should toggle back and forth. There we go. So let's now make our nav menu appear. So down here with our nav menu is what we're going to be editing now. And very similar to what we did right here, we can actually just delete that. So I'm just going to type over it. We're going to put curly brackets, and in there, we're going to say, if clicked, we're using ternary operators here, if clicked, display nav menu and the active class. So it's going to pull it from -100 to 100, or negative 100% to 0. So it's going to pull our menu onto the screen. So if click, display that with the active class, else just the nav menu, so it remains off the screen. So there it is. We need to give that some styling though. Change that. Let's do make these links white for now. Just put it in right here. You can put it anywhere you want. Okay. However, before we move on, I'd like to change a few things here. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, and I am going to get rid of that gap. So to do that, let's go up here, down. I don't know why I said 5 rem. The navbar is actually 90 pixels, the header. So we'll make it 90 pixels. Should fix that. And let's make these a little bit larger. And in index under the body, we'll add do a font size of 1.2 rem. This is going to be for all the text on the site here. Let's get a line height also of 1.2. I think that looks a little bit better. There we go. So you can also see we have the hover effect of the yellow line there. Okay, let's move on to our next component. And what our next component is going to be is this hero banner here. And also I want to show you that when we scroll to our full width here, you can tell the background is white, but it's going to take care of that because when we have our hero banner here, the image is going to take up 100% viewports of the screen. So don't worry about that. So we can close our navbar.css as well as our navbar.js. And let's create our hero. So we'll come in our components folder here. I say new file, hero.js. And let's go ahead and create our hero.css. So again, we're going to type RAFCE, and that's going to export our functional component here. Let's go ahead and import this. Import hero from components / hero, and we'll put it right here under the navbar. Okay. For our hero component, it's going to be pretty basic here. There's really not a lot in here, just the image and a little bit of text. So let's give this div a class name of hero. Under here, we're going to have a div with a class name of content. And then we're just going to have several p tags and a button. P tag, and we have call us, the 1-800 number. Then because money doesn't come with instructions, like what I created there. All right, call us, and let's say 1-800. Should have made this like a real phone number. Somebody I didn't like. They just get a bunch of phone calls all day. Perhaps next video. Because money doesn't come with instructions. I thought about doing that on the Craigslist ad, you know, put like free lawnmower, then put somebody's phone number that you hate in there, just so they get like blown up all day. Anyways, button, let's give it an href of, we'll leave it nowhere for now. And we'll give it our class name of button. And free consultation. See how that looks. There we go. Okay, so it's up there. You can kind of see it with our little slight overlay. Let's give this some styling. All right, so for our styles, let's see here, our hero. We're going to give it a background color. We're going to use our var overlay. And this is how we're going to use an image. We're going to import our image in CSS, then also our overlay. And this is how you do an overlay with CSS here. So color, give it a height of 100, viewport heights, width of 100%. And we want this position to be relative, okay? Because this is just going to be our overlay, which if we go in to our index.css, this is our overlay here. So this is the same thing. Typing in overlay is the same thing as using our RGBA here. There we go. So let's add our actual image in. And to do that, we're going to type hero, then use the before selector. And we're going to have to type content and then give it some empty quotes there. This is, we're going to use our image, background, URL, then some parentheses, or quotes, sorry, images, and this is our hero.jpg, and we're going to say no repeat, center, and we want it to cover the page. Now let's give it a height of 100%, also width of 100%, and this position is going to be absolute. Whoop. Okay, top 0, left 0, and this is where we need to do our z index. Very important, guys. Don't forget the z index, or it will not display properly. Oh yeah, always do this. Import our style sheet. Hero.css. There we go. Okay, perfect. So now we have our overlay, and if we go in here to our CSS, we comment this out, you can see our overlay disappears. So there we go. But we'll comment that back in, and let's style our divs here. Create some space. So let's do our hero, our content. That's going to have a height of 100%. We're going to display flex, the flex direction of column, and justify content to the center with a max width. Let's do 1100 pixels and a margin auto with a padding of 1 rem. Okay, and so I didn't give our p tags any class names. So what we're going to do, we're just going to use the first, the child selectors. So to do that, content and then our p tag, and so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 p tags here. So what we can do is we're just going to type a p, and then we're going to use the first child selector, okay? And we're going to use font style, size, style. We all want them to be a little bit different. First one's going to be italic with a font size of 0.9 rem. And then we're going to do hero content p, and this is going to be, you type nth child, and then here we say number 2. We're going to make this a little bit bigger, 1.9 rem. Refresh this here. So as you can see, not right here, we're on the second child. Next, we're going to do the third child. So hero content p, nth child number 3. And we're going to make this font size of 5. Let's do 5 rem. A font weight of 700. So that, because money is what we're working on right now, should be font size, whoa, a lot bigger. And we're going to come back here. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. Our button's kind of funky right there. We'll fix that though. Let's do the fourth child. Hero content p child 4. And we'll do a font size of 2.2 rem with font style size of italic. And let's go ahead and do just a few things for our button here so it looks, we don't want it to take up the full width on the, when we're at a full screen. So hero, we'll do margin 1 rem top and bottom, 0 on the left and right. Let's give it a width of 300 pixels. We'll give background. Actually, I don't think we need to do that. Let's see. See how that looks. Looking pretty similar. Could make it, I think we made it a yellow, so we'll go ahead and do that. Background, color, bar, what? Make it dark. Let's do primary. And then copy this down. We'll do the border here as well. Let's say 1 pixel solid. Let's see how that looks. Oh, secondary, sorry. The primary is the green. So, ooh, it's a little bright here. Let's do secondary dark, which is a little bit darker yellow. That's a little bit better. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Still need to do some media queries. So let's go ahead and see here. Let's do our hover for our button. We even do a hover on that? Yeah. Okay, we'll do this. Ooh, okay. We'll do hero. You can style it however you guys like. I'm just kind of going off what I think looks halfway decent. Okay. We have secondary color there. And let's do our, it's the only bad thing, I keep on having to look back here. Secondary color, secondary dark. So when we hover, okay. dark, and border 1 pixel. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let's do our media queries. We only have a couple. We're just going to change the size on those, really. So media, screen, and I think I'm just going to do one media query on one. So I'm not going to do like the full tablet and then small mobile devices. I'm just going to kind of make it look good on, try and do group the tablet and the like mobile phone together in the same thing here. So you guys can go in and further detail it if you like, or on your own projects. So let's do the nth child, and let's do the third one where the font size was so huge. Let's do 2.6 rem, font weight. I think we can keep it the same actually. Let's just leave that out. Then hero content p to the, let's do the fourth here. 1.6 rem. All right, I think that looks okay. Pretty close. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not. No, yeah, there we go. Nth child. Okay, looks about the same. Oh, we didn't. Let's change the colors on that. See if that works. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. Let's go to the next component, which is this about right here, which is an image, and then just some little header and then some p tags here and a button. So let's move on. Finished up with those two. Next image is going to be, next component, about.js, and let's do about.css. Go into our about.js, ref CE. Let's not forget to add this. Import about from components / about. Oh, there we go. And let's not forget to import our style sheet this time. Okay. Let's go in here and do the about. Not a whole lot to do in here as well, you guys. Just really some text, and that's about it. So let's give this a class name, about, and in here we'll give it a class name of, I want to say container. We'll just give this a container. So the image, let's go ahead and load this dude in right here. I think his name's like John or something, whatever I called him. John Doe. So let's pull him in at the top. Import, we'll just say John from images / John Doe.png. And let's do our image tag. John with an alt of John. That way React does not complain to us. There he is. Nope, wrong one. There he is. Okay. John's looking a little big. We'll go ahead and style him in a moment. Let's move on. Underneath this image tag, let's give it a div, class name, column 2. We'll just kind of assume that first one's kind of like column 1. So let's give this about, and we'll give this a span. And this is where we're going to use class name of line that we created in our index.css. Here, we'll close this. In our index.css here at the bottom. And that's that little block we're going to use right there. So that's what that is if you're wondering about that. So after we have the line, we're going to do a couple p tags. They're not going to have any classes. You can type in whatever you'd like here. I have some text that I'm going to copy over right there. You can type anything you'd like. Boom. And this one right here. And we'll probably style these the same way we did with the hero, which is the nth, since we're not giving any class names to those. So under this, let's do under this p tag, we'll do a button. And we do need to give the button a class name, button. And this one's just going to say, what did I say? Explore more. Okay. How's that looking? Looks good. Just need some styling, really. Yeah, that's it. Let's style this thing. So in here, we're going to go, what was the first one we used? Just about, I believe. So about on the background. Let's give it a fade. Kind of like a real off-white margin. We want this to be auto, so it remains in the middle. We'll give it some padding. 8 rem on top, 1 rem, 0, 1 rem on the left. I'll give it a width of 100%. Let's do the container now. I'll give it a width of, let's do 12 pixels. Of course, margin auto. Let's display this as a grid. I'm going to put it side by side. I like to mix these in here every now and then just to, so I don't forget them. Especially if you're starting off, you're new. It's good to keep practicing what you've just learned. It always helps, just reinforcing repetition, you guys. Style this, the H2, we're going to put 3 rem. And let's do finally our column 2, since we're displaying it as a grid. Well, we'll do this one flex so it kind of lays vertically. We'll say justify content, center, align items, center. Let's give it some padding. We'll give it 3 rem all the way around. Okay, that should be good. Let's style our p tags. So we just have 2, I believe. Nope. I'll refresh that. Throwing a fit about that. Looking funky on mobile, that's okay. But yeah, this is 1 p tag at the top here. These 3, and this is our next p tag. So let's go ahead and say about column 2p, and then we can also say the first of type. Let's give a margin 2 rem, top and bottom, so left and right, and about column 2 p and child 4, and this is actually out of column 2. This is going to be our 4th. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll give it a font size. We're making this one a little bit bigger. Do 1.6 rem. Font style of italic. And we'll give it a font weight of 600. We still need to give some media queries, you guys, so don't forget about that. But that's looking pretty similar. Pretty similar. Maybe a little bit bigger. Let's do 1.8. Cool. All right. Let's give our button here just a little margin. Margin top, 1 rem. Okay. Let's do some media queries so it doesn't look too funky. Have a look. So that's looking pretty good right here, okay? Not bad. Have the hover effect. Of course, they're not going anywhere because we haven't set that up yet. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Let's do the media queries. We only got a couple here. Give it some room. We'll do that media screen. And let's say max width 940 pixels. Okay. Let's do our about container. And what we want to do here is a grid template call it of one. Okay. That way it's going to be stacked on top of each other. There we go. Still a little bit wide here, but that's the correct layout. About container. Let's do a width of 100%. And we'll shrink this image down. We'll give it padding. We might want a little padding. With let's do, I'm just going to see here. Yeah, I don't like that. Let's do this. Let's give it a width of whoops. Okay, looking a little bit better there. And let's do green padding. That might be it, you guys. Yeah, there we go. We're just taking away some of the padding that we used when we're at past our breakpoint here. That's looking okay. Looking all right. Okay. Actually, let's give this button just a little bit of about, let's say, margin bottom. That looks okay. Let's move on. What is next? Testimonials here. Okay. So let's give some little cards here that we're going to create. We're going to do that from scratch with our 3 people here, or 3 images. Let's do our testimonials. So let's create our components here. Well, say testimonials, and let's do our testimonials.css, and we're going to type RFCE. Whoops. Oh, we didn't save this as a, let's see, rename. .js. There we go. Perfect. And there you go. And sometimes it'll automatically import it at the top. So notice we didn't have to type that in. Let's close these. Let's add our style sheet. Testimonials.css. Okay, so let's go ahead and import our 3 images here. And that is going to be import, let's see here, user 1, 2, and 3 as who they're going to be. So let's just say user 1 from images user1.jpg, and let's copy this down a couple times. We'll change that to 2, 2, 3, and 3. Okay. For our div here, for our div, let's give this a class name of Testimonials, and here we'll give this div here. We're going to create a container, and let's start with a heading. The heading that's going to say Testimonials. Under here, we use that span again with a class name of line. We can get that little green line underneath there. Now we're going to do a div, the class name, content, and we're going to have 3 cards. Say class name, card, and in here we're going to have image source, and that's going to be user1 with an alt, user1. We're going to have a p tag, another p tag, and this one is going to have a span in it, and a third p tag. What I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this down 2 more times, so we have a total of 3. Let's go ahead, and I'm just going to copy this here. You can type whatever you like. It's going to be our first one there. There we go. And type in his name. Going to be inside our span. And his title inside this p tag here. Now for Miss Carol Harper. Her name. Oops. And it's going here. Whoops. Copy this over as well. Who's this last dude? Snow Jr. All right. Managing Director of PPW Global. Let's do that. Global. Cool. So it's going to look quite messy right now since nothing is styled. There we go. Let's go ahead and make it look nice. So change this to user 3, user 2, just like we call them up here. Okay, got our pictures displaying properly. Let's do our CSS now. It's a little bit smaller so you can see. Give ourselves some room. And give this a width of 100%. Container with a width of, I think we're doing 1240 pixels. A margin, nope, not bottom, just margin. So we're going to put 2 values in here. We're going to do 4 rem on the top and bottom, then auto on the left and right, so it's centered, not bad. Padding, and 4 rem, top and bottom, 0. Okay, let's style our H2. Well, H2, we're going to give it a font size of 3 rem style. Jeez. And let's align this. Jeez. Center. Okay. Now we're going to do our content for H2. There we go. We made the max width 1240. We haven't done any media queries yet, so that's why it's looks funky like that. So our container, and the content, and we're going to display this, not inline, but grid. And again, we'll do our grid 10-minute columns of, we did 3. And on mobile, it's going to shrink down to just 1. We're going to give it a grid gap of 20 pixels and a margin, margin 4 rem on the top and bottom and 0 on the left and right. Clean that up a bit. So let's style our cards now that everything is, yep, that's perfect. Let's style our cards. Let's give it a border of 1 pixel solid, and we'll give it that kind of gold grayish, dark gray color. Nice little rounded edges. Let's give it a little box shadow. 0, 3 pixels, 10 pixels, and we'll give it RGB. Do RGB. 0.2. And padding. I think that looks all right. Pretty good. We're getting there. Let's fix up these images. I think we made them a little circle and pulled them up a little bit. Image. To do that, we're going to give a border radius of 50 pixels. That's going to round it out. Margin, top, -2 rem. Okay, looking better. Let's do our p tag. P, and I'm just going to give it, I don't think we have this one defined. How that works. Okay, perfect. Yeah, just lighten it up a little bit. Let's do a font size. A little bit. There we go. Just a little bit smaller. Margin 12 pixels. Great. Now let's do our span. We'll color that, and that should be pretty well lit until we do our media queries. We'll use our variable, do primary color. It should be that green. Font size 1 rem, and font weight of 700. Let's do our media queries here. Just have a few. Oh my gosh. So we're doing 940 pixels. We'll do testimonials. We'll do our container first. Give it a width of 100%. Then change our grid template columns to 1. And change our card a little bit. Let's see how that looks. There we go. Looking pretty much identical. Solid. What is our next component here? Oh, it's almost the last one. So it's our demo, which I have actually added in a little video, as you can see down here. So let's go ahead and let's do that. A new file. We're just going to say demo.js, and we'll give that a demo.css. Okay, let's REF E. We'll do our style sheet. Okay, and in our app.css should import automatically. Sometimes not. That's okay. All right. Everything's looking good. No errors. Close these testimonials. And for our demo, let's get started. Class name of video. We'll do, div class name. We'll give this a container, and we'll probably just break this up into 2 columns here. So we're gonna have one div, class name, column 1, and I'm gonna copy this down. This one's gonna be column 2. Inside of column 1, we're gonna have a few p tags and a button. So we'll copy these down, and let's do a button with a class name button. It says get your free financial analysis. Okay. Then what do we have here? I'm going to copy this. One philosophy. There we go. And over here, we're going to import a video. I already have the source here. So what I'm going to do, we're going to use an iframe. So iframe, let's give it a width of 500. Whoops. Width. We'll see. 70. Height of 320. And we have our source here. Okay. And let's just do a I'm going to add in the title here. You say YouTube video player. And this I'm just going to copy in and allow full screen. We'll close it off. So allow full screen lets you obviously change it to full screen. And this is just some allows in here that I copied over from YouTube. All right, so that should be it. See how it looks. Should look terrible. This won't have any styling. Let's take care of that right now. So we'll go into demo.css. Let's start off with demo, say margin. We'll do 5 rem, auto, with a padding, rem, with 100%. Demo, and let's do our container. And we're doing 1240 pixels. Try and keep it consistent. Again, we're going to display as grid with 2 columns. Okay, let's do column 1. Padding 1 rem. And display not inline. Flex. We're going to put it as column. And let's style some of our p tags here. We'll do it the same way with the child selectors. So demo, column 1, the width and 1, I believe. Let's do a font size of 1.8 rem. And a font style italic. And we'll do the second one here. Do font, not style. Font size, let's do 3 rem. There we go. Let's see. Go back and have a look at that in just a moment. Why do I keep doing that? 1.2 rem, and let's give it a margin bottom. Okay, but no changes. So let's go in here. Oh, I called it video. Oh, I was sidetracked. We are using a video. It's going to be demo. There you go. Perfect. Let's style. We can move this video over so it's in the middle. Do that. Let's say column 2. And we'll just say it's margin auto. Okay, just moved it over ever so slightly. Cool, cool. All right, so let's go ahead and do some media queries on that one. Make it a little bit nicer. Media screen. Max width. Again, we are keeping it consistent. And let's do the demo container. We're going to change this to a max width of 100%. Grid template columns, we want to be 1 fraction. Let's give it a grid grab, 30 pixels, give it a little padding there. Let's style our iframe. We'll say width 100%. Cool, looking good. Whoa. A little semicolon down in there somewhere. There it is. All right. I think that's it. What's the next one? I think it's just the footer. Yeah, and the footer is super basic. So let's go ahead and create, we'll go ahead and create our footer component. So let's go over here and under our source for, not source, components, footer.js and footer.css. We'll do our RAFCE. Got our style sheet linked. There you go. If you press enter before you close it off, it imports it at the top. That's what it is there. Okay. So just home about Testimonials demo. Then it's the little bottom part here. Let's go in and actually on our full screen, are we using any? I was wondering if we were using any, if I used any icons here, React icons. I don't think so. So let's go ahead and give this the class name of footer. All right, and we'll give a class name container. We'll do UL in here. We'll give these class name of item and it's ref. I'm just gonna leave it blank for now, you guys. Home. I'm gonna copy this down if you. Oh, back that up. we want to copy the list item down as well. 2, 3. So about testimonials and demo. There we go. Cool. Let's go ahead and do, we'll do that bottom line here. So underneath the UL, inside the container, give it a class name of, let's say, bottom. And let's use this span class name of our line again. Oops. And then underneath this, give it a p tag 2020. We'll say execute Inc. All rights reserved. Okay, cool. Let's do some styling here. Okay, so footer width of 100%. Background color, let's do that. Black. This color is going to be let's do that. Padding 3 rem, 1 rem, left and right. For our container, max width. Display these as flex, and we'll put them in the middle. And give it a little bit of padding. And change these color here. Let's do the hover effect in here as well. We're not going to copy it over, just type it out. It's super short. We did the padding bottom. We did 12 pixels. I think the border bottom was 3. And I think we did the yellow, maybe. Cool. Let's just style that just a tad. Not footer. Let's do bottom. Give it padding top. 3 rem. Oops. Grab this one, pull it over, see how it's looking. It's not too bad. Let's put a little margin under here. And this is for our span that we did. I'm just going to put in the margin bottom here so we don't have to go back to the index.css. And I only want that to be applied right here on the footer. Do we need to do any media queries on this footer? I don't think so. Yeah, it looks great. Perfect. Oh, that's a problem. So you notice our header here looks fine as we're over the hero banner with it transparent. However, when we scroll down, it's just a white over white, and that's not going to work. So let's go ahead and let's close these footer. And we'll go into Navbar, and mobile is fine. So we'll just copy that. And we'll put it here at the bottom. That, there we go. All right. Also, these links aren't working. So let's, when we click about, we want it to scroll down to the about, and testimonials, we want it to take us to the testimonial section. So let's do that. Let's go into the, also, I wonder if it closes. Okay. It doesn't take us anywhere. Let's do this. let's go into Navbar, and we're gonna have to give some IDs here. So we'll start with the about. We're gonna give this an ID of about, demo ID, whoops, demo, and then do the footer, nor the hero, just testimonials. So ID, testimonials. Then let's go into our navbar, and instead of the slash, for home, the slash is fine. This will have about and testimonials, and to our demo section. So reload that. There you go. It works, but our nav menu is not closing. That's something we need to fix. Make sure it's working here. Perfect. Okay, let's fix that. We're going to use state. We're going to use state to fix that. So let's go into our nav bar here, and under the set click, we're going to just do a close mobile menu. Or under the handle click, we'll do a close. Say const. We'll say close close menu. Give a little arrow function, and this is going to set click, and we're going to leave it to false as the default value. And let's go down. So on our list item, or on our list item here, we want it to say, let's see here. Let's lay on our A tag here. So on our A tag, we're going to say on click, close menu. Let's copy this down here. All right, let's see if that works. Oh, that one always worked. Let's go to demo. All right, there we go. And about. Perfect. And that is working properly. All right, you guys, I think that pretty well sums up the tutorial here. It's a basic React application, minimal features here. There's plenty of room to add some extra features and functionalities to this site. But I think that looks pretty good for this video. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. If you learned something or if you thought it was cool, I would really appreciate a like and consider subscribing to my channel. I'm going to be putting out some more content just like this one in React. And also, you guys, if you have any questions or comments or any advice, I'd love to hear from you down in the comments below. I'm always looking to improve here on my videos and give you guys some content that you're interested in. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.